Shalom. All praises go to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kodash. Double honors unto the elder apostles and great millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. Shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Now, this morning, I actually wanted to talk about something else, but of course, when you go on YouTube, you see all these feeds and stuff like that. You know, you look at different channels, whatever. And then I saw this being popped around. This video right here.
This government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that. Certainly in the UK now, we're at a crossroads. We have got a right-wing proposition that we've not had in this country before. We've gone on for decades with elections which are basically either a Labour government or a Conservative government, pitched usually pretty much on the centrepiece of politics, the centre ground of politics. So, but now we face a very different proposition with Reform and Nigel Farage. It's that march that we had here 2 weeks ago in London, in Whitehall. That sent shivers through the spines of many of our communities well away from London, not just those in the immediate vicinity. So there's a battle for the soul of this country now as to what sort of country do we want to be, because that toxic divide, that decline with Reform, it's built on a sense of grievance politics, identifying something real for sure, but relying on the problem existing in order for their politics to persist. I am announcing this government will make
Right, I'm gonna put the link in the description box. So what's going on right now, as you can see, that he said that they want to make it mandatory to where you're gonna need a digital ID in order to get a job, and that coincides with the scriptures that said that no man shall buy or sell or basically do anything once that time comes. But that's in Revelation chapter 13 verse 9 on 9 13 and 15 15 on down until 18 was it 13 and 15 was it 13 and 15 on down, you know, because Esau is busy with that wait, I got distracted by the Esau is busy with setting up things. Oh yeah, so he was talking about the right wing stuff like that, right? Now who is setting that up? Esau, because it's actually Amalek that is setting it up to where he puts them people into that country, and then yes he does, and then they will make it to where the Edomites that are in the country that don't want their country to be invaded and destroyed, they already predict that they're gonna fight back and stuff like that. You have to understand that back in the days, it was Esau invading them countries without them people wanting it. But nowadays, it's actually the people are being brought in. It's not even an invasion. It's actually Esau's bringing them in. And he's doing it for this sole purpose, so that he can set up all this thing, because he is a very cunning man. Let me hit that in Psalms chapter, Psalm 64. Now, like I was saying for years now, watch the document, like for 2 years now. Watch the documentary called "You Are Amalek." Then all these things you will understand, and you will know, like, oh, so that's what you're doing. They've been doing this, man. They have plans set up decades in advance, man. You know. So this is Psalm 64 and 1. Hear my voice, O power Yahweh, in my prayer preserve my life from fear of the enemy. It's not that King David was afraid. It was that his fear was in the Lord. Because if the Lord don't protect you, then nothing else will save you upon the planet Earth. It doesn't matter how many money you got. It don't matter how many, whatever you got, man. It doesn't matter how many guns and ammunition you got. You eventually, if you want to fight with guns, eventually you're going to have to buy ammunition from the government themselves that you want to fight. So you're going to have to put your faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Verse 2, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Now, King David was praying this, but you have to understand, everybody knew King David. All the heathen nations, the Canaan, the prince of Canaan, Hiram or Huram, You had all these other, the kings of Azir. Everybody know about him. So it was not like hide me, like please don't let them see me. Because starting with the elder apostles on down in America, do you think that do you think that the elites don't know them? Do you think that they can hide from the elites in a physical form? They know where you at. They got your phone. They probably listening into your phone things and stuff like that. That's not talking about that. It's talking about hide me as in they can see me right here, but they can't do anything. King, king, king. Them arrows that they shooting is reflecting to the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahashai. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. They are the workers of iniquity. Especially since they resurrected themselves, which they call rebirth, in the Renaissance era, in the time of 1492, somewhat around that time and stuff like that. The Renaissance, actually, around the Renaissance time, which means rebirth. Rebirth of what was it? The Roman Empire. The last leg of the Roman Empire is which we are in right now. That's why they fighting against each other. You got the red against the blue, just like them gangbang and shit. You got the Republicans against the Democrats. They're fighting. So it's all good because it's the same thing that's happening to the northern tribes and the southern tribes. Well, now it's happening to them. Verse 3, whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bow to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. That's their loss, man. Let me read it again. It says here, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. This is a bitter word. This is a bitter word for the rest of the people upon the planet Earth, especially for the Jacob descendants, because he's going to make it to where you can't feed yourself. So this is actually a slow starvation. Just like back in the days with the COVID jab thing, you were not allowed to go into the stores to buy food. So what he's actually kind of doing indirectly, he's making you starve to death indirectly, because in order for you to get that food, they want you to get that shot, that jump shot, COVID shot. And in order for you to basically feed yourself, get that shot and all that type of stuff. And so they're gonna do it with this thing too. In order for you to feed yourself, you go get that digital ID, and so forth and forward on. It's going to gradually go, when everybody is accustomed to it, they're going to gradually go into the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip. They're waiting for that. So therefore, hide me from the secret counsel, from the wicked. And also, they declare unrighteous decrees. That's the unrighteous decree. Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. Unrighteous decree is what they're coming up with, which is their loss, which their tongue walketh throughout the earth, which is their loss again, in Psalm 75. So 73. So it says here, Psalm 64 right now, verse 4, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? They don't think nobody is looking at them, because the majority of the planet Earth ain't looking at them. They the wicked is not in trouble as other men. So therefore, a lot of people are not thinking about what the government is doing. They just react to what's happening in front of them. They don't see the strings being pulled behind them with that whole thing, the so-called right and stuff like that. See what Esau is doing? He's bringing in them immigrants and stuff like that. He wants that, and then he makes these Europeans. He makes these European countries unstable, because they are stable. Because contrary to popular belief, when you have one nation, one race, and one place, it's going to be actually very strong, because everybody will relate to one another, and everybody will be, kind of together to a certain degree. But if you throw in there poverty and drugs, yeah, that's not going to really happen. They're going to fight each other. You're going to stab your own mother just to get some dope and all that type of stuff. So Esau has all these plans, because they cook up stuff in their little meth labs, and then they practice it upon the people. They cook up all these thoughts. They've been doing that. Verse 5, so it's Psalm 64 and 5. So it says here, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? They think like they're not being seen, but the Most High is seeing them. Verse 6. They search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. Because like I said, they're very deep. Like I gave the example, like 20 years in advance, 50 years, 70, 100 years in advance. You know, for example, they might buy property from you for maybe like, let's say the property is worth, I'll just give an estimation, man. Just for example's sake. Let's say the property is worth $1 million. They give you $5 million. So now you really be thinking in yourself like, damn, that's a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? You might hear another $1 million added to it. You're gonna buy it, you're gonna sell it, and then they have now they got it, man. They can set up things, man. They can start building stuff upon that land and all that. Just to give you examples and stuff like that, you know. Because a lot of people think like they're getting a great deal. Well, down the line, your great descendants, your great grandchildren, that's not what I wanted to say. They're gonna look back at you and be like, "Damn, what the hell did you do?" Because they don't know, they don't think. Who shall see them? Nobody's thinking about that. But they are, and the Most High seeth them. That's why the Most High is angry with the wicked every day. So it says, verse 7. But the Heavenly Father shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. It's their own tongue that's actually snitching on themselves. You know, even in the Jake world, the world that Jake is in, self-snitching is at an all-time high because they can't stop talking about themselves, about their deeds. You know, they can't stop talking about themselves. They always got to post another picture about what they're eating. Like this guy on PMV Rock. He was posting what he was eating, or his girl did. And then, whatever. But it was people that was in there that actually got him. So that's just an example. I kind of give the wrong example, actually. But you have certain people that post where they are, and then they get smoked. You know? Anyway, so it says here, verse 8, Psalm 64 and 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of the Heavenly Father. Yeah, people are not fearing right now. They're fearing Esau. They're fearing that digital thing that's coming. A lot of people be panicking, talking about, you know. But hey, we shall see, man. Yahweh says, I just put my faith in the Most High, and I'll be like, I don't worry about what everybody else says. You know, people want to guide you toward here, guide you toward there. Some say, oh, Yahushua would come on the 23rd of September. that's a joke. Go YouTube it. 23 September 2025. They said that the Lord will come. These people are funny. So let no man guide you toward nonsense, man. You know? Verse 9. And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of the Heavenly Father. Yeah, the work of the Most High. For they shall wisely consider of his doing. The righteous shall be glad in the Lord and shall trust in him. And all the upright in heart shall glory. Let me read that last part again. It says here, the righteous shall be glad in the Lord and shall trust in him. And all the upright in heart shall glory. Right. All of our righteousness is filthy rags, so I'm not trying to be the righteous, but gearing toward it. We shall see. We shall see. You gear yourself toward it. Just like it says in the book of 1 Kings chapter 8, it says that when you pray to Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, face in the direction of where the ancient Ark of the Covenant was, which is the house of the Lord, which Solomon built. 1 Kings chapter 8 explains that to you. But nowadays, well, we still do it, but the Ark is not there. Neither is the house of the Lord there. What is there? It's just the direction nowadays. So what do we pray for, and what do we replace it with? We replace it with the Lord Yahushua, because he is actually the Ark of the Covenant. He's Noah's Ark too, because it says right here, I think it's First Peter 3 or something. If I'm correct. Oh yeah. So it says here, 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 19. By which also he went and preached unto the spirits in prison, which your body is a prison, by the way. Verse 20. Which sometime were disobedient, When the long suffering of the Most High waited in the days of Noah, because he was waiting for the people to actually start to do correct. They didn't do correct, so what did he do? He watered them. He watered them like a bunch of plants. So it says here, uh, when the long suffering of the Most High waited in the days of Noah, while the ark was preparing, because the men of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, starting with where I learned from, of course. You always got to mention that. This ain't no big up thing, man. This ain't no, it's kissing ass. I'm not done with that shit, man. I'm telling you the truth. Well, because, a lot of people be like, oh, why you kidding? Why don't you die already? I'm still gonna, the scripture says, remember what thou learned from. So don't be bugging. Don't be asking me no stupid questions. So it says, right, like I said, remember where you learned from. That's all. Okay. So anyway, going on now, it says right here, while the ark was preparing. So what are the elder apostles on down doing? Of Great Millstone in America. What are they doing? They are. The ark is being prepared right now. If you go to the book of Matthew chapter 22, it says that the wedding is being made prepared. Nowadays, that ark, the physical ark back in the days, is not here no more. We're not building no ship, but we are building an invisible ship. We are building well, Lord willing, I'm helping building. But let me just say it like this: the Lord is building an invisible ship. The Lord is building an invisible temple that you cannot see, but you can see it in your mind. Just like Matthew 6 says, put not your treasures here upon the planet Earth, but put them in heaven, which is in your mind. But it's in heaven. But I hope you know what I mean. So that's the same thing that you would do with the ark. You have it in your head, and it's being built. You can't see it, but you can. Only the men of the Lord and of course the elect, the men of the Lord, the women. Only they can see it. Only they can see it. It's right here, but you can't see it. Billions of people cannot see it. They rather see a flying reindeer with bunnies laying eggs and stuff like that. That is what they see, and they see it. But anyway, so it says here, while the ark was preparing, wherein few, that is, 8 souls, were saved by water, and this was actually the baptism that was done back in those days. Because Noah went through that physical baptism, which was the sea, which was the water, which was the rain and all that type of stuff. So the Most High baptized Noah in that time. And now he's using the same water, but the spiritual water, which is Yahweh Shai, Matthew 3 and 11. And that word is actually going to baptize you. So let me go on. So 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 21. Let me read 20 again. And 21. So wait, let me read 20 again. Which sometime were disobedient when once the long suffering of the Most High waited in the days of Noah, while the ark was preparing, wherein few, that is, 8 souls, were saved by water. The like figure whereunto even baptism doth also now save us. So it says that just like that figure that you have from the ark, that same way. Right, 21 again. The like figure whereunto even baptism doth also now save us, also, right? Not the putting away of the filth of the flesh, but the answer of a good conscience. So not the putting away of the filth of the flesh. Most High is not going to smoke us this time. He's going to smoke with the fire. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 6 on down, if I'm correct. What's up? 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 6 on down, if I'm correct, where it says that then the earth that is now is being prepared for the fire to come, which is that nuclear fire, right? So it says right here, 21 again, the like figure whereunto even baptism doth also now save us, not the putting away of the filth of the flesh, but the answer of a good conscience toward the Most High. Yeah, you need to have a good, clear conscience toward the Most High. Like, what the fuck? Ah, shit, did I do bad things? Oh, man, let me pray for forgiveness in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. That's that good conscience, because now you can walk around talking about, well, I didn't do anything. I did shit, but I'm not doing it now, which is, sometimes you need to be safe. You need to be safe. So, yeah. For example, a kleptomania. if he really wants to repent and turn toward Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you shouldn't let him around stuff that he wants to steal. You should get him away and then let him go there and basically be put out. Let him be put out until he can actually handle himself around those things that he wants to steal, like a drug addict. A drug addict, you shouldn't just let him around drugs and stuff like that. He's going to smoke it. What you need to do is you need to detox him and get him away from all that bad stuff over there, you know? For example, with me, I couldn't stop smoking back in the days, right? So you know what I did? Everybody that I knew and hang with, I said, fuck it. I'm not gonna be hanging around y'all no more, because myself, I couldn't stop smoking. Because they was around, they offer you, what the fuck, you know? Like, damn, man, I can't start this shit, man. I need to get the fuck away from these dudes. And then when I got away, y'all are at the Zah, you know, I started to be able to actually resist the devil. You know what I'm saying? And then when I was away from them, it went good. It went good in the spirit, especially in the body. And then, of course, in the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yashai. So, if you have a problem, there may be an, you need to separate yourself for the goodment of yourself. It is rather that you lose an arm or a leg and still make it into the kingdom than to have your whole body intact, and then you get tossed in the fire. So sometimes you need to do some sacrificial type of things, man, and just roll with that, you know, through the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. This ain't no bad thing, man. You do what you got to do to save yourself, man, to help yourself. Well, you're not saving yourself. I didn't say, but the scripture does say on give calling to make give diligence to make thy calling election sure and stuff like that. That's one. And then you have the other one, which is on what is it, 2 Timothy's 4 or 1 Timothy's 4? 4, or was it 2nd? Damn. Oh, 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 16. Take heed unto thyself. It's always yourself, man. Check yourself, you know. Going on, so it says, and unto the doctrine. So you gotta, who you get the doctrine from? You know, you gotta put that on the side. You gotta put that on the side. Like, okay, this one is for to be kept, and the watch yourself. That one is also to be kept. Continue in them, for in doing this, continue in those things. So continue in yourself betterment, and continue in the things which you have been taught. Romans 15 or something like that. For in doing this, thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee. So, you save yourself while you're going on, you know, I don't want to say it like you're the savior or something like that, but it does say what it says, but I understand what it says. Not as you are the savior and you can really save yourself like that. It all ends up to the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahashai. If you're going to open up the door or close the door, you know, so going on. Both save thyself and them that hear thee. But anyway, let me go back to where I was before I lose my train of thought. 1 Peter chapter 3 verse I'm gonna read 21 again, and then I'm gonna go further. 1 Peter 3 and 21. The like figure whereunto even baptism doth also now save us, which is we go into that baptism but by the word, baptized by the word. 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 17 shows you that we are being baptized by this word, and not by the physical baptism. So, but the answer of the good, what? The like figure, okay, not putting away the filth of the flesh, but the answer of a good conscience toward the Most High Yahweh, by the resurrection of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, who is gone into heaven and is on the right hand of the Most High, angels and authorities and powers being made subject unto him. That shows you that he's on the right hand of Yahweh Bashem Yahshai. That shows you that he's not the Most High himself. Well, we already know, you know. It's for the people that don't know, which they're not going to listen anyway. And if they do, hey, glory to you. But, let me see. Anyway, so let me go back to where I actually wanted to go up in the beginning, because this video that I saw, like I said, it's not an ambush journalism, but it was a thing that I was looking at and like, oh, I didn't know that. Because yeah, I didn't know. This morning is when I found out. I found out this morning. So it says right here concerning the video of concerning the RFID chip, which I'm gonna get into a little bit later. Did I put it somewhere here? No, I didn't. Anyway, so let me go back to over here. So what is Esau doing? Psalms 83 and 1. It says here, keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. So it shows you that there are people upon the planet Earth that hate the Most High. Starting with Esau, starting with 2/3 of the Jacob descendants. All of them, they actually hate the Most High, man. Luke chapter 10 explains to you that he that heareth me heareth you, and he that heareth you heareth him that sent me. So that's Yahweh Shai. So if you hate the ones that bring this truth, you hate Yahweh Shai. And if you hate Yahweh Shai, then you hate the Most High. You know? I often say this. I'm going to give you an example of a fact. Let's say you have parents, right? And the parents have children. And then the children, there are 5 of them, whatever, 4, whatever. But there's the eldest one, a son or a daughter, whatever. And then they tell that eldest child, like, hey, you're in charge. I'm going to go with your mother for a weekend. I'm going to just leave, and then I'm going to leave you in charge. But then one of the siblings doesn't want to listen to the oldest brother. He's like, nah, you're not my father, you're not my mother. I ain't listening to you. And then and the whole weekend, he was rebellious against them. Then when the parents come back, then the parents said, look, okay, everybody did what they were supposed to do. And then the eldest brother says, well, this one over here was rebelling against everything I told him. You know, I told him clean your room, didn't want to, stuff like that. Da, 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 da. So now when the parents come back, they're going to get on you, because if you're not listening to the one that had been put over you, then you are not listening to the one that did the putting, that gave that one authority. Now, there's only a few reasons why a person would not want to listen to him. First and foremost, if you disrespect that person. So the thing is this: if you make a person angry, they're not going to respect nothing what you say. All you need to do is just piss them off. Then they're not going to listen to you. It doesn't matter if you come with good wisdom. It doesn't matter if you listen to them. You're going to be sounding like even a fool. I'm not calling you a fool, but even a foolish, a fool, when he saith a wise thing, shall be rejected. But the thing is, if somebody you don't like tells you something, even if it's good, you're going to be like, man, fuck you. If somebody else says it, then you're going to accept it. So there, it goes back to also the mind is the mannerisms that you think. And if you think about it, I understand that 100%. So, because I'm the same way too. Because if I don't like you, I'm not going to listen to you. I'll be like, no, you piss me off. And from that moment on, I'll be like, yo, you need to go do something to yourself. You know. Anyway, so that's the same way that I look at the 2/3 that I'm looking at them like, yeah, I know you're angry. I know you're angry. You probably, but me personally, look, I'm not trying to boast or something like that. But I have seen people talk to other people. Man, they are not listening to them. You know what I'm saying? Full of anger. And then I come saying the same scriptures and stuff like that. Then they listen to me, because I don't know. I just talk to people on a different type of level. I don't make you angry, man. When I come to do something, I come to do something in trying to fix the situation. I ain't coming to be judges and shit like that. A lot of people don't respect that, especially if you're talking with worldly dudes. If you're talking with people that they want to get physical. And you need to be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. Just like King David said, look, I'm not afraid of you, but I want you to get this. And they will respect you, man. Lord willing. It's all about respect. I don't give a shit about the people that say like, well, respect is not demanded. It's no, actually, it doesn't matter. If you have nothing against them, just have their respect, and then they're gonna listen to you. Whether they not now, it comes if they do it or not. Because I talk to a few people, a lot of people actually. I just put the seed in your head, and Lord willing, you're gonna get it. What's up, man? Lord willing, you're gonna get it, and Lord willing, let the Lord deal with you after that. But all I wanted to do is put that seed in your head. But like I said, if you make a person angry and then still trying to talk to him as if you have some form of authority, you're just looking for trouble. It's not gonna work. Okay? It's not gonna work. Once he hates you, I'm not listening to you. If I hate you, I don't listen to you. If you make me out, I'm not listening to you. It doesn't matter. So I understand if they do it, because I've seen it. I'll be like, oh, okay, he don't like you. Everything you say, spit on you. I'll tell you I'll take a shit or something like that. Anyway, so it says right here, Psalms 83 and 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They hate the Most High. That's why they don't want to listen to him. They don't want to listen to the laws. Whether they have it within their spirit that they actually hate the Most High, whether they know it unknowingly or unknowingly, they hate the Most High. Because they be like, nah, man, I can't follow a God that doesn't want me to eat pork. Why did he make it then? You know, stuff like that. That's a form of hatred. It's in the category of hate. You know, you might not call it full-blown hate, like full-blown hates. Might not call it that, but it's HIV. It's in that category. You're right there. If you make a misstep, then the Lord is going to judge you. There you go. Verse 5. No. Verse 4. No. Verse 3, sorry. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. So, they all consulted against the hidden ones. Back in Psalm 64, it shows you that hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, right? So it says right here, it says that for lo, verse 3, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people. They consulted against thy hidden ones. Who are the hidden ones? King Malak Dawad already said, like, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. The elect is the hidden ones. They are hidden in plain sight. You can see them. You can watch their videos online and all that type of stuff, but you can't get them. That's how they're hidden. You're shooting at them, pew, pew, pew. This should work. This should work. So that's what they're saying to each other, like, hey, how are we going to get these? Then they come with the manipulation, and then they go get a lot of people that love money, they're going to get them. A lot of people that love carnality and stuff like that, they're going to get them. Because 1 John chapter 2, verse 15 on down, it explains to you that the Most High is now, he's not with you if you're a carnal beast, man. Carnal beast, lusting after females as soon as you see them. That shit ain't right, man. That shit ain't right, man. I'll tell you one thing. I don't have a daughter, but I'm thinking in my head like, damn, if that was my daughter, I would go to jail. I would kill your ass, man. Do that shit, man. Fuck you, man. Anyway, that's why I'm looking at Levi and Simeon. I'm like, actually, I'm very angry sometimes for dumb shit, man. I want to smoke your whole family, man. I'm thinking about that type of shit. Because I'm thinking to myself, like, man, don't do that shit, man. It's very, you know, that's a Jacob descendant man, his daughter. Why are you doing that? But anyway, people don't think like that. Most people don't think like that. So they're just going to do because it feels good to them until they get a daughter. Yeah, that's why I don't want to be around that type of shit, man. I don't want to be around carnal ass dudes, man. Fleshly dudes. I hate that shit, man. It upsets me. That's why you rather cut off your arm, your left arm, and get into the, or your left feet, and get into the kingdom hopping, instead of with both feet get tossed in the fire. You know. But anyway, let me go on. So it's Psalm 64. So Psalm 64, and it says 5. They encourage themselves. Wait. Okay. Psalm 64 and Psalm 64 and 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Now to Psalms 83, verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. The hidden ones are I already said it. Lord willing, I'll keep on repeating myself. Forgot. Verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Those are the Jacob descendants, the so-called Negros, Latinos, and Indianos. Those are the nation of Jacob. The nation of Israel. Right? So, what are we praying for? We're praying for that even though they see us, they ain't going to be able to do anything. And that's one of the many devices that Esau has. Like I said, one of the devices is to, the other day, I was just watching stuff like that, and I saw that there's a whole big thing here in the Netherlands, man. You have in these Edomite places, man. You have any? I'm telling you, when I go there, like I need to do something over there, whatever. I go there and I always dip in my Lolo because that I don't know, it's just weird. I just do that shit. But when you're in a group, you often you don't notice. You don't notice because you're busy with them. But when you're alone, then you can really notice. You can really pay attention to what's really going down. So when I go to these places, you see them looking at me, man. You see them like, man, they're not used to seeing Jacob like that. And then when I see another Jacob descendants, they always make eye contact. So a lot of times they're trying to be friendly because you're the only one that they have seen within a half an hour or something like that. Well, in those places, Esau is bringing like 10,000, 5,000, 2,000 people from Syria, people from all these Arabian countries and stuff like that. And why is he doing that? Well, 2nd Ezra chapter 16, it says that the dragons of Arabia is going to fight against these Edomites. It says Babylon back in those days. And the dragons of Elam and Ishmael were actually in that region where Babylon was. If you look up the map of Mesopotamia, you're going to see that Elam and Ishmael was down from Babylon, and Elam was the right side of Babylon. So what did they do? They came together and fought against ancient Babylon and stuff and they conquered them. And the Babylonians, they was afraid of shit. They was tough guys, but when they saw the faces of the Elam people, they on a kamikaze type tip. They ain't scared to death, man. And nowadays, the Mosai is going to do the same thing. He's going to make it to where the Ishmaelites and the Elam people, the Persians and stuff like that, they're going to be set up by Amalek. They're going to be set up in different posts in the Netherlands and stuff like that, UK, Europe, just Europe, but mostly West Europe, because they're stronger than East Europe. East Europe, you got only Edomites over there, but the East Europeans, they want to come over here to West Europe, where the money's at and all that type of stuff. But anyway, they're going to set them up in different regions, and then they're going to let them loose because they're going to grow, and they make a lot of kids. They got like 5 kids and shit like that. A lot of them are sons. They're crazy too with that. They have a lot of sons in there. They got a lot of daughters too, but they got a lot of sons too. And they love getting together and fighting and stuff like that. So against other nations. So the Most High is going to make it to where he already said to make it to where he's going to put the spirit on Amalek to set them up in the midst of Esau for that 2nd Ezra chapter 15 or 16. I think it's 16. Let me see something. 2nd Ezra 15 and 29. Wait, let me start at 29, 28. Let me start at 28. 2nd Ezra 15 and 28. Behold, a horrible vision. Now, this is the vision, for it is appointed for a certain time. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will come. Let me get that real quick. Habakkuk chapter 2. Lord willing, yeah, I'm in the spirit. Lord willing. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2. And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables. So we out here explaining stuff, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We out here explaining stuff, Lord willing, of course. So you have teachers, you have 1 Corinthians chapter 12. You have teachers, you have prophets, you have apostles, you have all that type of stuff. You have helpers. So don't be worried too much if you have some. Just know that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, if somebody, hey, if somebody fall off, you get their talents. Anyway, I want to say some funny shit, but I'll just leave it. Let me go on. Now it says right here, and Yahweh answered me and said, Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2. And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables. And he that he may run that readeth it. So make it plain upon tables. It says here, and he that run, that he may run that readeth it. So you can run with it, so you can flow with it, so you can, because you're already geared up to walk that path of Yahweh Bashem Yahshua. So while you're busy, you learn more. He that has a little bit of faith, the Most High is going to give him even more faith and stuff like that. So you're already busy, and that's the only people that we're doing it for. I'm not here trying to let me see, teach another person, I'll go back and forth with you to a certain degree. Because if I see you come here to mock, then why don't you go mock them flying reindeer people? Because that's of the world, and therefore, your lips is just greasy with their penis and stuff like that. So you're not fighting against them. You're not fighting against flying reindeers because that doctrine doesn't hurt you. You know what hurts you? Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. That doctrine hurts you. Verse 3. So Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So it might look like it's taking a long time, but like in the beginning, I actually never was like, when. No. Let me say it better. I never was like, oh man, it's taking time. I was like, yo, when it come, man. Lord willing, I got that spirit to fight against it. You know what I'm saying? So, hey. Okay, going back to where I was. So it says right here, 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 28. Behold, an horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east. So the Most High wrote down, he told Ezra to write down the terrible vision. And he told him to behold it, right? He told him to behold it, and the appearance thereof from the east. Verse 29. Where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth. They all, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. And they are afraid, because they're talking about, we don't want them here. Why? Because they know that when they get together and they believe in their moon guy, then it's gonna be a fight, because they're gonna come with their sun dude against their moon dude. If you know what I just said, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, which is the thing that they worship. They're gonna fight against each other. It's gonna be Islam against Christianity. And so it says right here. Let me read it again. Verse 28, 2nd Ezra 15, 29. Where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth. They're going to come swiftly. That all they which hear them may fear and tremble. These Edomites are afraid, and they're shitting in their boots. They scared of Jake, but they scared of Elam in the flesh. They're scared of Jake because in their spirit they know, like, okay, if the Jacob descendants get their power, we're all going into captivity. Psalms chapter 83 shows you that. That's why they come together and conspire, because that's the only thing that they can do in order for them to be free without shackles upon their neck. And they know that. So therefore they need to all get together and suppress this truth, suppress Yahweh Bashem Yahweh. You can't destroy this truth. All you could do is just suppress it. All you could do is just basically lie and put lies in the midst of the truth. You could hide it. You can't destroy the truth. If you believe that the truth can be destroyed, then you don't believe in the power of the Heavenly Father. Verse 30. Also the Carmanians, then if you look up the map and you type in Carmania, you will see that the Carmanians and the Scythians, I can't even pronounce that word. It's a Scythin, Scythians or something like that. That word. That's also Elam. But you had Israelites in the midst of them. But in this case, it's talking about the Persian Empire, basically Elam, right? Also the Carmanians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, with the Arabs. In this case, in this scenario, in this day and age, they're going to do it again. But this time, it's going to be Islam is going to be their rock. Just like Jeremiah chapter 51. Verse, I think 18 or something like that, 17. It says their rock. They're basically their rock. Or Deuteronomy 31 and I think 31 or 32, it says, our rock is not as their rock. Their rock is, in this case, the moon rock. In this case, the moon rock. And that's what they're going to put their faith in. And our rock is Yahweh. Well, now it's Yahweh Shai. Back in the days, it was the Most High Yahweh. So you built your house upon Yahweh. You built your foundation upon Yahweh. You built your anything and everything upon Yahweh Bashem, well, Yahweh. But nowadays, it's Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. So our rock is the Lord Yahweh Shai, right? So what was it saying? And it says here, also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boar of the woods. And with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. And the Assyrians at that time were ruling over the land called Babylon. Because you have multiple kings in the land of Babylon, multiple rulers. You had Elam, you had Cush, you had the Assyrians, you had Cush is Judges chapter 3. There you can see that Cush was ruling Mesopotamia. The king of Mesopotamia at that time, in the book of Judges chapter 3, was Cush. I can get it for you if you don't know. You might read it and it fly over your head, but I'm gonna read it for you. Oh shit. So it says here, Judges 3 and 8. Therefore the anger of Yahweh was hot against Israel, and he sold them into the hand of Cushan Rishathaim. Cushan Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia. And the children of Israel served Cushan Rishathaim 8 years. So, and that was a Cushite. If you look up that word, you will see that it was Cushite. And then if you look up the other word, which is an which is Habakkuk chapter 3 verse 7. I saw the tents of Cushan in affliction, because the Most High is going to get their ass too. And the curtains of the land of Midian did tremble. Midian is Japhet, Medio-Persian. The Japhet and Elam. But anyway, in this case, it's talking about Cush and Midian. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it's Midian, not the Midianites. Midianites is the brother of Ishmael. But Midian is, let me double check that. Midian. Habakkuk 3, 9, 7. Oh man. Oh, it is the Midianites. Good that I looked it up. It's Midianites. That means it's the sons of Abraham. Midian. I thought it was the media in Genesis 10. It wasn't. It's Genesis 25. But so these are all the Midianites. Good that I looked it up. Anyway, let me go back. So that's that part. So you're gonna have so you had different nations ruling over Babylon. But anyway, go back to what I was saying. So, but it's going to be to where it's gonna come to where you're gonna have Elam and Ishmael being put in these lands and stuff like that, and then they're gonna fight. And who's doing it eventually is the Most High. But who is the Most High using? But who is the Most High using? He's using his sword, Amalek, and then he's going to exterminate Amalek too. So he's using them in order to bring forth what he wants to bring forth, and then he's going to do away with his sword. You know, let that be for an example on how not to be. So going on, so it says right here, Psalms 83 and 4. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. The word confederate is basically an alliance. And therefore, this is a conspiracy because they conspire together. A lot of people don't even know what the. I was just talking to a guy yesterday, you know, and I was explaining to him like, what does the word conspiracy mean? He said, yeah, this. Then I pulled up the dictionary, and I read it to him. And it's like, so that thing, it's the definition of a conspiracy because he was saying we wasn't talking about this Kirk guy, but he popped up, and then he said like, man, I don't want to talk about those conspiracies. I'm looking at him like, are you dumb? Are you stupid? Which one of it? Anyway, then I explained to him what the word conspiracy means, and then I proceeded to laugh because he doesn't. A lot of people use that word, but they don't understand what it actually means. It is a conspiracy. They did conspire together. That's the definition of conspiracy. But Esau make it to where I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but people are now afraid to say certain things because they know that judgment is coming, which is that snake tongue. What they did. For example, if you got something against sodomites, the first thing that comes out of their mind is, "Look, I'm not a homophobe, but see." Or when they say like, "I'm not a racist, but," then you know something racist is gonna come out their mouth. But they're trying to justify themselves first, or actually clear their name. What? Yeah, whatever. So it says here, verse 5, "For they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes." The Hagarenes are actually Ishmaelites. If you read the book of Genesis chapter 25, you will see that they took on the name of their mother, Hagar. And there's a few other scriptures that link them together. They're fighting with the Hagarenes against the Israelites. And in that case, it was, I think, the Reubenites and stuff like that, the ones on the right side of the map. Those are the ones that the Most High fought against. That the Hagarenes fought against. We fought against them. So Gabal, which is Gibeonites, which is the Lebanon, and Ammon, Japan, and Amalek, which is these people in Israel right now. The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, which are Canaanites. The Philistines are Mizraim. Ashur, which is the Assyrian Empire, also is joined with them. They have Holpen, the children of Lot, which is Moab and Ammon. But of course they have more children, but whatever. Those people. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, which is the children of Abraham. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, or Jabin, at the brook of Kishon. So Sisera and Jabin are two Canaanites. Verse 10, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. So that's what the prayer is toward these people that come together, that conspire with each other against one nation, which is the nation of Jacob. But they're also conspiring against the rest of the people of the planet Earth, but they don't matter. They're like a drop of water that followed out of a bucket of water. It don't matter. You don't. You might be like, well, you're cruel. We need to get together. No, we don't. We don't need to get together. Hell no. When you get stomped on your ass by Esau, now all of us, by your own nation, now all of a sudden we need to get together? I don't think so. What we need to be doing is separate. The separation needs to be set in full effect. I can't drink. The separation needs to be set in full effect in order for us to really be together. Because you got a lot of these. Oh yeah, the Most High is going to make it to where a lot of your heathen friends, the Most High is going to set them up against you. I saw this guy in the time of Vine. You know the Vine thing on, I don't know where it is. It was like a early version of the TikTok thing, Vine. Then you had a lot of little small bite size, whatever they call that thing, small bite size, whatever, videos. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and all that type of stuff, 4, 5, stuff like that. And what happened over there, you had a lot of comedians making jokes and all that, and they got a big name for themselves. I know of a guy right now, I don't know his name, but he's a Jacob descendant, and I saw him at the all-white party of these billionaires and stuff like that, where you had this guy, Little Baby or something like that. He was getting sandwiched by 2 billionaire Edomites. Those type of parties. I saw him there because I saw him at a Diddy party too. So he went from Vine, making these little funny videos, to basically being rubbing elbows with the elites, billionaires and all that type of stuff, and all that. Which I like. Damn, I forgot what the fuck I wanted to say. Damn. Let's start this shit. Anyway, you had these people from that era. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to say. You had these people from that Vine era. So he's from that era, and he's like a what is he? Japhet, or I think he's Japanese or Chinese. I don't know what he is, man. One of those motherfuckers, you know. But anyway, he's a brown skinned one though. So yeah, he's kind of not that dark, but he's not that light neither. He's a little bit brown. But the point is, he used to be hanging around Jake all the time. He did his hair. He did the cornrow hair. You know what I'm saying? He was hanging around with Jake females. I saw him taking pictures with his girl, and that was his girl. But yo, the Most High made it to where he flipped sides, man. He's now straight up Kirk side. He was that already before that. Since the Obama thing, you know, he switched side, and a lot of people looked at him like, what the fuck? Yeah. They turn against you, man. The Most High is gonna make it to where all your little buddies that you think that are your friends, they're gonna turn against you, man. Through the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, because the Most High is the one that's gonna make them turn against you, because He said so. Let me read that for you, because I already read the Psalms 83, where all the heathen nations are gonna come against us. They want to, but the Most High is gonna make it to where the heathens that are your friends, your so-called friends, they're gonna turn against you. The heathen nations. I'm talking about the heathen nations. You Jacob descendants that love them so much. The Most High is going to turn them against you. So me personally, I never had heathen friends in my life anyway. I know a few. They cool. Never had an Edomite. Cool. Never had an Edomite friend. Never. It doesn't exist. I never had that. Anything that's mixed up with Esau, I never had them as friends. I never had them as friends. I can say. I don't know. I just don't. Anyway, Jeremiah chapter 31 verse. Anyone that's connected to Esau, I might say hi, bye. Never had that. So that's not for me. It's for you clowns that love to be hanging around these heathen nations. The Most High is gonna make you figure it out. Like you have individuals of them that are cool. I know about that. I'm always talking about that, teaching about that. Like, hey, some of them is cool cat. I'm not talking about Jakes that look like heathens. I'm not talking about that. Not every Jacob descendant on the not every heathen upon the planet Earth is a secret Jacob descendant. You know, because you do listen. I'm gonna read it for you. You do have people of heathen nations that will worship Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. I'm gonna get that for you. And King Solomon talked about it, and he was praying at the same time. In his prayer, he actually said it, man. He actually said it. He said that because he had his hands in the air. That whole not the whole chapter, but the majority of the chapter was actually a prayer. It starts at 15. No. Sorry. It starts at 22. And it ends at 54. So it starts at 22. Huh? Did I say? Yeah. It starts at 22 and it ends at 54. That's that prayer. In the midst of that prayer, he said, I'm not going to read everything. I'm going to go to the point. Okay, so 41. So it says here, First Kings chapter 8, verse 41. So it says, moreover, concerning a stranger that is not of thy people Israel. The same thing is also mentioned in the book of Genesis chapter 17. Genesis chapter 17 explains to you that the servants, the strangers that is not of thy people, in your house, born in your house, you need to circumcise them too. And they are allowed to do certain things, as mentioned in Exodus chapter 12, they are allowed to eat too. And the servants of the Levites, they are allowed to do things too. They call them the Nethemites. The Nethemites were actually Hamites, Canaanites. And also you had Gibeon. They was actually perpetual servants, because the Most High said, well, Joshua said, through the power of the Most High, you shall be servants, you shall be hewers of wood and drawers of water. And then King David is the one that took the Nethemites and he gave the Nethemites to the Levites as servants. And it talks about that the Levites had heathen servants, perpetual slaves unto forever. Exodus chapter 25 explains that to you. So they was in the houses doing certain things, tasks, the hard physical labor tasks. The Most High gave the Levite servants of the Canaanites, and then he made them do things, and the Midianites too. The Midianites also. Even one of the Midianites, he married Jael in Judges 4. But anyway, Lord willing, I'll do a video of that. I'm already busy with it, but I didn't put it out yet. So, so it says right here, 1 Kings 8:41. Moreover, concerning a stranger that is not of thy people Israel, but cometh out of a far country for thy name's sake. And why he was talking, what he was talking about is that he put the Ark of the Covenant in the house that he built, which is the house of the Lord, which is it. But he said, like in the same chapter here, and also another